I want you to keep in mind something. In comparison to the debut week, Angel Reese's debut game with the Rose BC Basketball Club has lost over half of its viewership.
The third week of Unrivaled's most recent ratings report is out, and Angel Reese's chances are not good. The self-described spokesperson for women's basketball, who claims to be right there with Caitlin Clark, is making significant contributions to the sport.
Scratch that, more than half of its opening night audience within 3 weeks. We see numbers of 310,000, 320,000. 3 weeks later, 140,000 viewers for Unrivaled. More than half of the audience has disappeared. Oh no, say it ain't so. This can't be.
Let's dissect it because, although statistics are honest, they may occasionally make you giggle. With all the drama surrounding her ejection, you would think that when Angel Reese's squad faced Phantom, everyone would be watching like it was the season finale of their favorite reality show. Ejections typically add flavor to memes and Twitter discussions, but alas, the game only attracted 140,000 spectators.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like,
I'm sorry. I can't. She really believes that. She believed it then. She believed that they were started to watch her because of that one game.
Now, let's put that into context. A different league game between the Laces and the Owls drew 190,000 viewers, which is 50,000 more people who voluntarily decided to watch a game that featured no drama, no ejections, and just traditional basketball. No disagreements on the sidelines, just layups, jump shots, and perhaps some really strong defensive plays. No spectacular exits.
Why no one is supporting their secondary dump. They wonder why no one is watching pretend basketball. Maybe if they focused on the actual basketball instead of focusing on their weird utopian fantasies, maybe their dump would be upgraded to a polished turf.
What does this mean, then? Angel Reese's squad may need to reconsider their strategy if drama isn't drawing in viewers and the game itself isn't either, as what's left are half-court trick shots and mascot dance-offs. Perhaps the ejection wasn't the ratings magnet that some had hoped it would be, or perhaps people are actually watching basketball and not just the crazy concept of the drama. Gratis tacos for viewers. The marketing team should be contacted.
We start getting there. Saturday coverage, 98,000 on True TV alone. On True TV alone, but they must not have counted TNT. It wasn't on TNT. It was on True TV only. Okay? It was on True TV only. So no TNT numbers, no HBO Max numbers. Lunar Owls on True TV, 118,000. Missed Rose on True TV, 76,000.
So, Angel, are we still thinking that you're the reason the league is doing well? The stats don't lie, unless you're an influencer trying to boost your following, and from what we can see, they tell a completely different tale. We already know what her fans are going to say, but Angel is a star and just as influential as Caitlin Clark. To that I say really, because the last time we checked, being influential usually means that people are actually watching you play, but let's be honest, if we're talking impact, one of these names is obviously outshining the other, and that name is Caitlin Clark. Wait, you mean to tell me that even after all the drama, attitude, and I'm changing the game speeches, you still can't even get people to watch?
You guys don't remember? Angel Reese said she was also the draw. Did you guys forget about that? The hottest woman basketball player on the planet isn't involved in the Unrivaled, and weeks in, ratings are down under 100,000 viewers. So where's the lie? What am I missing?
And let's not forget that Angel herself stated that it's not just Caitlin that is altering the WNBA, it's me too. Logically, ma'am, your viewership numbers seem to contradict because the last time we looked, when Caitlin Clark took the court, the ratings increased like gas prices. In the summer, however, when Angel takes the court, Let's just say the numbers look more like a decent but not exactly selling out clearance sale at a discount store. Don't get me wrong, we're all for confident athletes talking their talk, but if you're going to claim to be changing the culture, at least provide the data to support your claims.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that.
At the end of the day, I respect Angel's hustle. That is, the will to remain relevant even when she has nothing to offer. She is talking talent, but let's not act like the league is suddenly booming because of her when the numbers are obviously favoring someone else. Otherwise, we might have to put some of these "I'm changing the game" claims on layaway until further notice. In addition to delivering ratings, Caitlin Clark is setting records.
Legacy crosses teams and fandoms following today's win. South Carolina coach Dawn Staley took a moment to acknowledge what Clark has done for the sport.
Just don't want to not utilize this opportunity to thank Caitlin for what she's done for women's basketball. Like, her shoulders were heavy and getting a lot of eyeballs on our game.
To be honest, do you really believe Caitlin Clark would be drawing fewer than 200,000 people if she were performing an unmatched role? Come on, that's like claiming that LeBron James and his best would have trouble filling an NBA arena. Everywhere Clark goes, TV executives begin rubbing their hands like cartoon villains eager to cash in. If she were in this league, we wouldn't even be discussing this. Instead, we would be discussing how Unmatched is dominating the sports world. Clark has been a talking ratings machine. While all the other kids on the block are wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys like it's 1996 and Michael Jordan just won another championship, and global networks are paying ridiculous sums of money for the right to broadcast, this isn't even close to becoming the next big thing. Instead, we're seeing its viewership do something much less inspiring. It's collapsing.
Angel Reese. Unrivaled basketball. Now 190 is better than 140, but both are better than the week prior and both are better than the opening night. We are headed on a downward spiral. Fast. This is falling fast, folks. This is going fast.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Unrivaled began with an astounding 300,000 viewers, which was a good beginning and a sign of hope for women's basketball's future. However, in just 3 weeks, that number has been cut in half, meaning that if Unrivaled viewership were a paycheck, players would be phoning their landlords and having some awkward conversations. How did this happen? How can a league that was meant to transform women's basketball end up losing viewers more quickly than a subpar Netflix series?
Angel Reese has the 2 lowest rated games in this entire thing. And we might find out about tomorrow that the game on Saturday that she played is the 3rd lowest, or maybe the lowest rated game thus far. But she has the number 1 and number 2 for lowest watch games, 76,000 and 89,000.
First of all, star power matters. At the moment, Unrivaled is missing the biggest star in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark. She is more than just a player. She is an event and a spectacle. Without her, Unrivaled feels like just another basketball league, which is problematic because, let's face it, when the WNBA had Clark on the court, they weren't just receiving numbers. They were making history that made your grandmother suddenly recognize her. Without her, let's just say those ratings have also been doing their best imitation of a disappearing act.
Caitlin Clark is somebody that is going to probably, she's going to, I would say, be, in my opinion, the second favorite for MVP. I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP in the WNBA. That is how confident I am in Caitlin Clark's year 2. And we've seen a lot of things.
Unparalleled downhill trend is more than just a warning sign. It's a neon billboard that flashes, "We need a fix and we need it now." This may be anything from luring in more top talent to altering the marketing plan to flatly buying Caitlin Clark with lifetime Gatorade supplies and endless endorsement deals. If Unrivaled wants to be the future of women's basketball, they need to make sure that it has an audience to watch that future. At the moment, the future isn't looking nearly as bright as they had hoped. Each week, the viewership is declining, and if this trend continues, they'll be lucky to draw in 50,000 viewers. What's crazy is that the league was marketed as a game share for women's basketball, a place for star power to shine. But when your so-called star power isn't keeping people interested, what does that really say? Imagine starting a new league, putting all this hype behind it, and then realizing that the main plot point isn't the caliber of basketball, but rather the fact that Angel Reese can't stop embarrassing herself on the court.
She got benched yesterday. How in the hell could y'all call for the coach to get fired when she got 4 points in 8 damn minutes, bro? She had to get benched. She's been playing bad the whole time she's been at Unrivaled, bro.
Speaking of embarrassing incidents, let's discuss Angel Grand's leave. Oh, it wasn't just any exit. It was a record-breaking one. And in just 3 weeks, she became the first player in Unrivaled history to be dismissed. Not the first to hit a game-winning shot, not the first to drop a triple-double, but the first to get kicked out of the league like an unwanted party crasher. Some ejections can change the course of a game. Her absence creates a hole so large that it could swallow the entire defense. But Angel, her team had the opposite reaction. She is ejected, and then they are playing as if they have just been baptized in basketball greatness. Caitlin Clark and her team suddenly appear lost, confused, and praying for a miracle. How does it feel to be sent out and have your teammates play as if they just got out of a hostage situation instead of lamenting your absence?
Guys, we talk about this all the time. We do. I don't know what it is. She gets ejected, only plays 7 minutes, and her team wins. I mean, how does that happen? She had 15 rebounds. It just so happened she had 5 offensive ones and she missed 5 shots. I'm just throwing that out there. But wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that happens, but the less she plays, the more successful her teams are.
And let's face it, it's not like Angel was dominating the scoreboard prior to her departure. We're talking about someone who averages 7 points or 8 rebounds, if she's lucky. Those aren't exactly superstar numbers. Rather, they're role player numbers on a Tuesday. If you want to be mentioned alongside Caitlin Clark, sis, you need to post stats that at least raise an eyebrow and get people to stop checking their phones to see what's trending on Twitter right now. Getting ejected faster than a bad Tinder date is Angel's claim to fame. How are you making headlines for being kicked out of a game before you've ever made headlines for actually winning one? But let's give credit where credit is due. She's still making history. Even if you're breaking the record for the fastest exit in league history, it's still noteworthy to be the first to do something. As they say, if you can't be the best, at least be the most memorable. And in this situation, the Angel's job is completed.
Stood her frustration completely. She'll just, she'll grow from that in terms of keeping her composure because she had 15 rebounds. Who's to say she wouldn't have been able to do that in the second half and then end up having 25 to 30 rebounds. So my conversation was just, I just wanted clarity around, what she said just so that I could have a conversation with her after the game about it. But still a super young player, so she's growing and learning.
While all this madness unfolds, Caitlin Clark is out here living her best life, like a main character in a sports movie that always ends in victory. Her jersey is getting retired, and the arena is selling out like it was an NBA final between Stephen Curry and LeBron James. The first mean the Indiana Fever made moves like they're assembling the Avengers, and Clark is kicking back, probably enjoying some well-deserved relaxation before she casually takes over the WNBA like it's her birthright. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, well, she's still grinding it out and Unrivaled, playing in front of crowds that seem to be shrinking faster than a cheap t-shirt in the wash. Every week fewer people show up, and yet we're all supposed to believe this league is revolutionary. How? By making professional basketball feel like an ordinary tournament. Now the reality is one of these women is preparing to be the face of the WNBA, while the other is struggling to keep people from forgetting that Unrivaled exists.
Yeah, well, I think first of all, I feel very lucky and fortunate because there's also been a lot of really good players to wear this number in this program, whether Sam Logic, Kathleen Doyle, and those two specifically have been very supportive of myself over my career. So just thanks to them more than anything. And I think once you like hear the day, it's like, oh, your jersey's getting retired this day. It's like, oh, okay. But like when the day like approaches very fast, you don't have as much time to prepare for everything that's going to be involved in